Hello, good day. Welcome back to my channel. So, I'll be discussing today the do-while statements in Java, and we will cover the topics do-while statement flowchart, syntax, scope, and um, we will be trying to simulate a code to show you how do-while statement works. So, let's start with the flowchart, and we all know we always starts with the initialization. Now, here's the catch when we are using do-while statements. It always starts with the body, no? So why? Because do-while is designed so that it always executes the body of the do-while statement once, at least once, even if the condition is evaluated false, even if you purposely put a condition where it's gonna be false based on your initialization, no? It will still execute the body, and of course, no, we all know that inside the body you have the increment or decrement part of your if your variables, okay? And then the condition is placed at the end of the loop, okay? And if that condition is evaluated true, it will go back again and execute, of course, the body and then the increment, and it will continue to loop within these parts of your do while statement until the condition is evaluated false, wherein the execution is directed outside the loop. Okay, so if you have watched my previous video regarding while statements, okay, so it's like actually it's very similar to the while statement, except that the while statement is placed at the end of the do while statement. Okay, so for the syntax, okay, so you can see here that you still have the initialization, okay, depending on the number of variables that you'll use. So at least you need one variable to initiate, probably your counter. And we have here a keyword, the keyword do, okay, and then after that is your open parentheses, and then you have here your body, and then your update expressions, and then your closing parenthesis, and then we have here the keyword while, okay, and you have there the condition, okay. So one very unique about do while is that the while statement has a semicolon, okay. And remember, if you could recall your while statements, the while statement is placed in this part of the program but does not have the semicolon, okay. But for do while, they designed it, or it was designed so that it will that you need to include the semicolon, so please do not forget that, okay. And remember, the do and then the while keywords are in lowercase, okay. So basically that's it. That's how you write, or the basic syntax for a do while statement, okay. So when we say scope, of course, so we always rely on these curly braces. So whichever codes are included inside those curly braces is a part of your body, and then your expressions, okay, your update expressions. In this case, it was an it's decrement, okay. And remember, for the body, you could place one to many codes or statements here, okay. And please take note, okay, that your initialization must jive with your condition, and of course with your update expressions, okay. And just like while statements, we cannot omit the curly braces, okay. You must include always the curly braces because um, for do while statement you need at least two statements inside these curly braces. One is for the body and one is for the update expression, okay. So you really need to include those curly braces always. So how does do while statement work? Okay, so it always starts with the initialization, of course, no, okay. And Yes, this is the difference between the while and the do while expression, as I have told you a while back when I'm explaining the flowchart. It will always pass through the body first and the update expression before going to the condition. Okay, before evaluating if the condition. So, as I have told you earlier, if even if this condition is evaluated false for the first time by the during the time it's going to be evaluated by your compiler, it will still execute or perform whichever is included within this part of your code, within the body, including the update expression. Okay, and as you all know, it will continue to loop. So after evaluating this condition, if it's evaluated true, then it will continue to loop, okay, inside this part of your code until the expression is evaluated false. So once it's evaluated false, it will automatically go out of the do while uh, scope. Okay, so that's how it basically works. Okay, so next we'll try to simulate this code so that you would better understand how your code is being juggled or being run by your compiler. And for beginners, please always consider when simulating loops that you always take note of the first one is your counter, no? Okay, or the variable that you use here during the initialization. Okay, because it plays a important role during the iteration process, no? And then of course we are always of course we're very interested with the output and your condition, no? You simply substitute the value in this case, no? You simply substitute the current value of the counter and then try to evaluate if it is true or false. Okay, so if it's true, then repeat the process. Okay, if it's false, then move out of the loop. So first one, we already set the counter equal to 0, and then as I have mentioned earlier, it will automatically display the output. In this case, we use the system out that print, so whichever is the value of the counter, which in this case is 0, it will be the one that's gonna be displayed. Okay, and then we increment the counter variable so it becomes 1, and then we go to the while statement to test, no? So if we will substitute the value of the counter, which is right at this moment equal to 1, so that's like 1 less than 5. Is 1 less than 5? So is 1 less than 5? True. Okay, so if it's true, we will again perform the codes inside the body, starting with this statement that will print the current value of your counter, which is 1. So previously the output is already 0, so we will simply add 1 and then increment counter. If you could see the flow counter, and then substitute the value of the counter to this expression or condition. So is 2 less than 5? True. So we'll go back again at the top, at the do, and then proceed with the print statement, and then we will add 2 from the previous output, and then after that we will increment the counter. It will now become 3, and then 3. Let us now try to substitute 3 from the while expression or while condition. So is 3 less than 5? Okay, so is 3 less than 5? True. Okay, so we'll go again, let's iterate again, repeat the process. Let's print the current value of the counter, which is 3, and it will be added with the previous output. So the output is now 0, 1, 2, 3. And then again, we will increment the counter. Now becomes 4. And then substitute that in our condition. So is 4 less than 5? True. If it's true, we will again iterate inside the loop. And then print the current value of the counter, which is 4. And you can see here, it's already added. Okay, and then increment again counter. Now your counter is equals to 5. And then substitute that inside the condition. Is 5 less than 5? Yes. Yes or no? So it's obviously false, okay? So once you reach that, so is 5 less than 5? So 5 is no longer less than 5. So the execution will now move out from the looping statement. And as we all know, the final output is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So so points to consider always, as I have mentioned in my while statement, your initialization must be you must focus on your initialization because this is the one dictating your starting point, and that is the basis for your condition. Okay, so if you're started with 0, of course that should go with your condition here. So counter is less than 5 because 0 is lesser than 5. So as you go up, please take note, you have to increment. Okay, if you use decrement here, having this counter is equals to 0 and counter is less than 5, then your loop will never end because it will never reach, or it will never satisfy this condition to be false. Okay, so if I started with 5, so you must end with something like is counter, while counter is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, and then you should decrement. Okay, so regardless of the contents of your body, so for simplification, I use simple print statement here. Okay, so those are the fundamental um, concepts that you must consider when constructing looping statements using do while. And I think that's it. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Thank you for watching. And up next is for statements. Thank you very much and have a good day.